G'day chemists. So we're back for IB question of the day, number 5. I've taken on a bit of feedback, and I'm going to put in the key takeaways at the end of each question, like the things you need to be looking for. Thank you for that. That was a wonderful email to get. So we have a question here which is going to be more of a structure 1 question, I believe, and we'll sort of dive into that. So we have a calculation question. So if you could, alright, so pause the video here, have a look at the question, attempt it, and then we'll go through it in just a second. Alrighty, so this is a fun question. This is not a question you can eyeball. You're allowed your calculator, use your calculator, not like the old days. So how many moles of phosphate ions, PO₄ minus, are there in 103.39 grams of calcium phosphate? The molar mass of calcium phosphate is 310.18. And your options are 0.11, 0.33, 0.67, or 2.00. So let's have a look. What are the key parts of this question here? So the information we've been given is that for calcium phosphate, you have 103.39 grams, and they've given you the molar mass. It's a multiple choice question. They don't want you to spend forever, calculating the molar mass. They're just giving that to you. But we need to be aware that we're looking for the moles of the phosphate, not the calcium phosphate altogether. And in that, we have this little 2 down here, which means in every mole of calcium phosphate, there are going to be 2 moles of phosphate. So let's see what that means for us. So the first formula we're going to use is that moles equals mass over molar mass, and we have the information for calcium phosphate, so we'll deal with that. So moles equals mass over molar mass, which we have the numbers, 103.39 grams over 310.18 grams per mole. Of course, those cancel out. Not that it matters, like there's no units in this question, but it's just, these multiple choice questions are a good jumping off point for us to deal with how to do these questions in a broader context as well. Alright, so 103.39 divided by 310.18 gives us 0.33 moles. My numbers vary from theirs just a little bit. So we now know that we have, as I said, 2 phosphates for every mole of calcium phosphate. So our moles of phosphate are 2 times the moles of calcium phosphate, which gives us an answer of 0.66. Theirs is 0.67. My answer was like that works out. Don't be silly. I thought it was 0.65 for a second there, but it is 0.64, sorry, but it is 0.66, which rounds up to 0.67. Let's check my calculator. So it all matches out. So our correct answer is C. Alright, so that's how we do that. Let's look at our key takeaways for this question. First off, the formula we need to use are moles equals mass over molar mass. Okay. And we need to make sure we're aware of the molar ratios within the compound up here, right? Within our ionic compounds. So, for example, if they'd asked us about calcium, because we've got this little 3 here, it would be 3 times the moles. See, that multiplies there. And if they had asked about oxygen in particular, which sometimes you'll see, it would have been 8, okay? Because there's 4 oxygens here, but it's it times 2. So we've got to remember to make sure we're dealing with those as we do our questions. Okay, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Reach out to us if you have any feedback, and subscribe so you can sort of keep up with all the other questions of the day as they come along. Good luck with your exams, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.